So dear students, just now you have seen different impacts of organic farming. In the beginning, I have shown you some objective of the lecture and then some terminology. And after that, we have seen some impacts of organic farming on food quality, on soil, on productivity, on economics, on environment, and so forth. These can be benefits or these can be demerits of organic farming. You can decide. Now we come to the next part of this lecture, that is core pillars or components of organic farm. What are important components of organic farming? So you must remember these 4 components of organic farming: organic standards, certification or regulatory mechanism. Certification or regulatory mechanism are the same. There are different regulatory mechanisms. So one is certification. Regulatory mechanism is a broader term, big term, and under which certification is a kind of regulatory mechanism. So organic standard, certification, technology package, and marketing network. These are the 4 components of organic farming, or 4 core pillars of organic farming. If you are a student and you are a student or a teacher, and or you are a farmer, whatsoever you are, if you have interest in organic farming, you must know all these 4: organic standard, certification, technology package, and marketing network. This is the syllabus of organic farming, I can say. Everything in organic farming for a farmer, for a student, for a scientist, for a politician lies in all these 4: standard, certification, technology package, and marketing network. So first, I will teach you organic standard. Then I will teach you certification. Then number 3, I will take up marketing network. And at number 4, I will teach you technology package. Because technology package is very long, so it will take 2 lectures. But organic standard, certification, and marketing network, I will teach in brief. So therefore, it will take less time. Now, if we see the organic standard and certification, first we want to understand organic standard, then certification. But both these are governed by NPOP. I discussed in the history, National Program on Organic Production. It has got responsibility to formulate organic standards for India, and it has to organize the certification process through accreditation of certification agency. They need to, this APIDA or NPOP need to find out certification agency, authorize them to do the job of certification. So organic standard and certification, they are part of NPOP. So it started, NPOP started in 2001, internationally recognized. Our organic standards and certification are internationally recognized. Nobody can say that our standards are not good or so on, we will not take your product. So we have equivalence with European Union and Switzerland. Equivalence means give and take. You accept our standard, we accept your standard. We can import European product, organic product, and we can also export the organic product to European Union. That is the meaning of equivalence. Equivalence with European Union and Switzerland. USDA recognized conformity assessment system of our standard. Equivalence with Canada, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. People of APIDA were working on this. Perhaps they must have got it. And there are roughly 28 accredited certification bodies. Out of 28, 10 are in public sector, means government agencies are there who are doing job of certification, and 18 in private sector. To update the list of certification agencies, I suggest you to go to, just a minute. I suggest you to go to the APIDA website, and there you can find out the latest list of certification agencies who are doing this job. So what kind of work these certification agencies are doing? They offer certification in crop production. If somebody is producing the crop, so this is also an enterprise, crop production. Wild harvest collection means if you are going for honeybee production or growing for herbs cultivation in hills or mountains, then it is offering you certification. Livestock and sericulture, you understand, sericulture is your resham or silk. Apiculture is your, what is apiculture?
Sir, honeybees.
Honeybees.
sir.
Okay, and aquaculture?
Fisheries, sir.
Fish and other aquatic animals. So aquaculture, the certification process is available, and you should know that the standards are different. Standard for crop production may be different than for wild harvest collection, than for apiculture or aquaculture. There may be slight difference in standards, but fundamental or guiding principle will remain same, that you need not to use any chemical or synthetic chemical across any kind of enterprises. But certain guiding principles are common, but some will vary with the nature of enterprise. So food processing is also there. Suppose you get a fish, you want to prepare some value-added product from this. So when you process the fish, or when you process the tomato to make up ketchup, to make the ketchup, you need to follow certain standard during the processing also. You need to follow standard during processing, during transport, during harvesting, even during storage. You need to follow certain standards, or certain guidelines are required to be followed. And those guidelines are your organic standard. And somebody is required to ascertain, required to give guarantee that this particular product has been produced under the organic standard. Then that process is your certification. Now you see that organic products, you can have production of any kind, fish production, animal production, plant production, fruit production. So at production level, you got certain standards. Standards are there. For example, you need to adopt crop diversification. You need to apply so and so nutrients through these sources. You can control weeds by these methods. So these are guiding principles for production. And then somebody need to certify it, that the farmer has followed the organic standard. So at production level, you need to have standards as well as certification. Similarly, for processing, if you are having producing value-added products, then at processing level also you got standards and certification. Standard and certification. And then again for packaging, if you are doing packaging in your bags or in your poly bags, or what kind of packing you are doing, that does not matter. It can be in boxes, it can be in any kind of packing, but still you will have some standard, and certification is done at packaging stage also. Similarly, marketing, input and products. So if you store your product before marketing, then also you get some standard. What would be the shelf life? What would be the moisture content? And so many things are there. So standards are also there at the level of storage. Now we come to the organic standard, the first pillar of organic farming. So what is meant by organic standard? These are the do's and don'ts in organic farming. What you are allowed to do, what you are not allowed to do. What can you add into the soil, what you cannot add. How can you control the insect pests, and what cannot be used to control the insect pests. Complete document is prepared in writing, and that document is called as organic standard. So certain guidelines are officially laid down. They are in writing in a document for production, processing, and other aspects of organic products, whether it is packaging, transport, or storage. So what are the rules for conversion from conventional to organic farming? They are also listed. What rules are to be followed? Simple rule is 3-year conversion period is required. During this conversion period, you are not supposed to use synthetic chemicals, and you need to follow guidelines or organic standard during the conversion period. What methods and materials should be used in crop production? Sometimes the list is given, that you can use this kind of manure, you cannot use this kind of manure. It is given in writing. So that is also a standard in crop production. Then all these things are mentioned in organic standard. Indian organic standards have been developed by APIDA and are available on its website. I have shown you on the website 2014, they were revised. You can click and they are available chapter wise also. Interested students can see what organic standards or what guidelines are there for soil fertility management, for crop rotations, for addition of nutrients, for control of insect pests and diseases, for transport, for storage. All the aspects of organic standard are covered in that document. Here I am giving you one example from that document, from that book of organic standard in India. From that book, I have extracted this slide just to show you what is there in the organic standards. So organic standard, just I am giving you crop production. You can see for apiculture, you can see for sericulture, you can see for any other enterprise. So what is there in these standards for crop production? Number one, crop production plan. What kind of rotations are required? How to plan the production? Conversion requirement, duration of conversion period, landscape, choice of crops and varieties. Now, diversity in crop production and management plan. How to maintain the diversity? Nutrient management, pest, disease, weed management, contamination control, soil and water conservation, collection of non-cultivated material of plant origin of soil. So all these things are given in detail, how to go for it. For example, I am showing you point number 6, diversity in crop production and management plan, how we can maintain it, how we can manage it. So for this, consider the structure and fertility of the soil and surrounding ecosystem to minimize the nutrient losses. So first target should be here to minimize the nutrient losses. So this crop rotations or cropping system should be designed in such a way that you minimize the nutrient losses. Organic farm shall maintain sufficient diversity by considering pressure from insect, weeds, diseases, while maintaining increasing soil organic matter, fertility, microbial activity, and general soil health. So these are the guidelines. Soil fertility maintained by legumes or deep-rooted plants and green manures. So these are actually the result of diversity, crop rotations and fertilization with organic inputs. So this is how you see different organic standards. Now, why these crop rotations are important in organic farming? Just now, in the last slide, you have seen the role of crop rotation or diversification. So actually, crop rotations will result in diversification, because in crop rotation, you are rotating the crop, you are changing the crop. So therefore, it will lead to diversity or diversification of the crops. So crop rotation and organic farming, it is very, very important. If you follow crop rotation, your productivity of all the crops will increase. Crop nutrition and soil health. So many times you include legumes in the rotation, and these legumes will improve the soil health. Environmental protection. If you follow proper crop rotation, then for example, if you have taken a legume crop and it has fixed the nitrogen, and then you take a cereal crop, then this cereal crop can take up your nitrates, excess nitrate that were available by the legume crop. So therefore, that way it can make the best use of the nitrogen that was fixed by the legume. So cereal legume rotation are better options. And if you go for crop rotation, they have important role in insect pest, weed, and disease management. I'm not going into the details. And economics. If you follow crop rotations, your cost of cultivation reduces and your profit increases. So therefore, crop rotation have very important role. So because here it is not possible to teach you crop rotations, but any student, if interested, you can find my old lectures on crop rotation on YouTube channel. And if you don't find, just ask me, I can give you some literature to read on crop rotation. So this ends this part, and now we will have so it is in continuity. So now we have just seen about the organic standards. At least now you understand that these are the do's and don'ts, guidelines for any enterprise of agriculture if you are going organic. And then somebody will require to do inspection. Regular visits will be there. Whether a farmer or producer has grown the crop or is doing the production by adopting the organic standard. Whether he is adopting or she is adopting organic standard to produce a particular agricultural product. That is to be verified by someone, and it can be verified or certified only when somebody will inspect your farm. Somebody will have inspection on your farm. Somebody will have visit to your farm. So what happens, these certification agencies do the job of certification, and they send their representative to the farmer's field regularly at a fixed interval. The number of visits are confirmed that this season, the inspection will be done twice or thrice, and according to that, it is planned. But they charge some money. Certification agency charge some money for certification. So you will see in detail all these aspects. But first of all, let us see what is certification. To be very simple for a layman, certification means it is a process of issuing a certificate. It is a process of issuing a certificate. If it is organic certification, then for organic production, issuing a certificate for organic products is your organic certification. So let us see what is more about certification. So procedure by which the accredited certification body, or you can say accredited or authorized certification agency by way of scope certificate, assure that the production or processing system of the operator has been methodologically assessed and conforms to the specified requirement as envisaged in the NPOP. So this is very official language. I can simplify it, that certain certification body will match whether a farmer has adopted the organic standard in principles and as such and total. All the steps in food production or processing to packaging or storage are certified. All steps are certified. The requirement for certification may vary from one nation to another nation. So there is two kinds of certification in India. One is third-party certification, other is PGS, Participatory Guarantee System. So third-party certification is also known as NPOP, or third-party certification under NPOP, which is part of EPIDA. So National Program for Organic Production, NPOP, it is mandatory for export. If you want to sell your product or export your product to other countries, then you must get the third-party certification. Otherwise, you cannot export. But for domestic marketing, it is voluntary. Means if you are interested, you can have third-party certification and sell your product in the domestic or local market. But if you want to export, it has to be third-party certified. Now, why it is called third-party certification? Because there are three parties. First party is farmer. Remember, first party is farmer. Second party is consumer. And third party is the certification agency. Because it is farmer or it is producer and consumer. How come you are in between producer and consumer? Therefore, you are a third party. And also numerically also they are the third party. And then other kind of certification is participatory guarantee system, which is also called as PGS India, applicable only for domestic market, but voluntary. It is voluntary, it is for domestic market. So now let us see what is difference in third party certification, which is under NPOP, and PGS, participatory guarantee system. So third party certification is based on national standard, and it is also based on national standard of organic production. NSOP means National Standard of Organic Production. NPOP is very exhaustive documentation and third-party verification. And this PGS is very simple documentation. A regional council acts as a facilitator. If you are interested to know more details about PGS, I can provide you one document and that will give you the details of participatory guarantee system. It is not possible to cover in detail in this course about PGS and NPOP. But Dr. Y.V. Singh will teach you something in detail on PGS. I'm just introducing you to the topic. NPOP procedures widely accepted here. You can export, you can do it for domestic marketing. And it is not widely accepted, and it is not widely trusted also. It is cost intensive. 1 hectare certification charges will be about 35 to 40,000 rupees. And that may not be the income from 1 hectare farm, 1 hectare land. So that is very cost intensive, NPOP certification. And PGS is actually free of cost, or you can say very low cost. And this NPOP is applicable for individuals, growers, group, and processing facilities. And this applicable only on grower groups. So it is, PGS is for the group. And now some emerging regulatory scenarios. So you know that PGS, this third-party certification is started in year 2005 when we made our organic standard. But what happens, farmers were not taking interest in organic farming because of high charges under third-party certification, which were about 35 to 40,000 rupees per hectare per annum. So therefore, government started a certification process for growers group on 1st July 2016. On 1st July 2016, they started PGS, Participatory Guarantee System, and it was implemented by National Center of Organic Farming, Ghaziabad, and its regional center. Certain procedure is laid down how to go for participatory guarantee system. That procedure is defined, and one farmer or growers group can get their products certified. But what happens, the certification process is there, but many times, consumers are skeptical. They are worried whether this particular product is organic or not, whether it is genuinely certified or not. Then one more kind of licensing system came into picture, or one more kind of regulatory system came into picture for regulating organic products. It is from the government, and what government has decided, first farmers need to get their product certified by third-party certification or by PGS. After that, they need some kind of licensing from FSSAI, Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, FSSAI, need to give one license to the organic products, without which you cannot sell your product as organic in the market. A logo is issued by FSSAI in addition to the other logos which are given by certification agency. In addition to those logo, one more logo is issued by FSSAI. So what is that regulatory scenario? I read it for you. Any organic food marketed, packed, sold, offered for sale, marketed or otherwise distributed in the country is regulated as per the provision of Food Safety and Standard Regulation. This is organic food. This is a law, 2017, which were notified on 29/12/2017 and came into force on 1st July 2018. What are these regulations? These regulations require organic food to comply with the provision of National Program for Organic Production or Participatory Guarantee System. To be very simple, that if I produce a product by organic method and I did not get it certified either by third party or by PGS, I simply believe that this is my organic product. I produced it by organic method, but I did not get my product as certified. So what was happening? Many people, many farmers were selling their product as organically grown product, and they will sell it in the market. However, those products were not certified. So consumer could be cheated, were cheated in that way. And it was not very authentic also. So what happened, then this FSSAI came into picture, and it made mandatory that first you get certification either as third party or as PGS, and then we will give you one more logo and license, and then you can sell your product, organic product in the market. So that is the regulation from FSSAI. However, the farmers which are having less than 12 lakhs turnover per year can label or can sell their product as organic product without FSSAI approval. So that is a loophole, that is a weakness in the system, because we have smallholder farmers. So those whose turnover per annum is less than 12 lakhs, they are exempted from this regulation. So now you can see however to support a small original organic producer or producer organization, that may be this may be marginal, not original. Those with annual turnover not exceeding 12 lakhs per annum have been exempted from certification through NPOP or PGS. They can sell their product as organically produced or organically grown product. The organic food covered through these regulations should bear FSSAI organic logo. Means those who are beyond 12 lakhs, they must have logo of Javik Bharat or organic, PGS organic, India organic logo. Like this, you can see, this is the logo from FSSAI, this green, Javik Bharat in English or Javik Bharat in Hindi, you can have it. And you can see license number of FSSAI. Then general requirement for certification of organic products. The certification requirement vary from country to country. General overall guidelines are avoidance of synthetic chemical inputs and GMOs. General guidelines, use of land that has been free from chemical for number of years. Strict physical separation of organic and non-certified product, means your seed or produce. Then in processing, exclusion of all chemicals. There should not be any preservative, should not be used. Chemical preservative should not be used. Irradiation is not allowed. I think you understand. What is irradiation? Irradiation. Irradiation of food. What is irradiation of food? Anybody knows?
Sir,
Treatment with the
Yeah, please. Irradiation.
treatment with the UV rays type of things
Okay.
for Gaman to
Certain
kill
radiation.
or to
Very good. I think you know the answer. So certain kind of radiation are applied to the food that can kill certain germs, and it is considered as it will not leave any chemical residue, but many people are skeptical even about irradiated food. So, but in organic farming, irradiation is not permitted under processing and chemical-driven processes. Keeping detailed written production and sales record, these are general guidelines. Undergoing periodic on-site inspection. So farmers, particularly under NPOP, need to maintain certain records, which is known as internal control system, ICS, internal control system, where farmers maintain some registers in which they write all the details, where from they got the seed, what are variety, when they use manure, what manure, all kind of agricultural operation performed by them are in written form. They are written in the register, and that register is verified by inspection agencies. So keeping detailed written production and sales record, undergoing periodic on-site inspections, verification process is done by certification agency. Now we go for the next topic. Any question on organic standard and certification?
no, sir.
No question. All right. Now we see what are the opportunity and scope of organic farming in the country. So India has a diverse geography and climatic conditions. So we Because of this diversity, we can produce variety of food and we can satisfy all kind of consumers. Lot of scope is there in research, teaching and extension. Now it is increasing. You see, now we are going to have degrees, diploma in organic farming, and some employment generation will be there in the organic farming field. Huge potential for export and domestic market. It is increasing slowly. I have shown you the data. So organic farming has good scope in employment generation, particularly when you have two kind of things are there. One is input, organic input, and other is organic output. So in input, you have seed, manures, pesticide, biological pesticide, or botanicals, biofertilizer. Variety of inputs are there where rural people can get employment. Similarly, you get output, that is your product. They can be converted to value-added organic product. A lot of people can be involved in marketing, selling, and you see processing, etc. of the value-added products. So a lot of opportunities are there for employment in organic farming. Raw material obtained from organic farming can be transformed into value-added products, and a lot of people can be employed in certification processes also. And in this organic farming, you go for crop diversification or adoption of crop rotation. That means you are generating employment round the year if you have crop rotations. And these are the areas where you can see the area of India have been divided into areas. Green area means in green areas, you have less pesticide and less fertilizer application rate, and then it teal color or whatever is next green color, number 2 color. In these areas also less pesticide, less fertilizer. And as you go down, these area become a heavy user of pesticide and fertilizers. So based upon this, Modipuram Institute have divided country into 3 different parts. First tier states, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Mizoram. In these states, you can straightway go for organic farming. So these are the niche area where organic farming can be done. And they are very small area. For example, Sikkim. In Sikkim, you have just 75,000 hectare land. Similarly, in Nagaland or Meghalaya, they have very small cultivated land. If that is converted to organic farming, there is no harm because they are already organic by default. There are second tier states where you can get certain selected pockets, selected area where organic farming can be adopted. Assam, Rajasthan, MP, Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, Gujarat, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Third state, third category, here you need not to go for organic farming. It is just towards organic farming approach. Means here you can go for integrated managements, all kind of integrated management or good agricultural practices can be adopted. If we do according to this, then you will not have any shortage of food in the country. Then similarly, niche crops have been identified for rain-fed regions of Madhya Pradesh, soybean, finger millet. I have shared this presentation today to all of you, and you can see the details of the crops which have been recommended for different states. Similarly, you can see for Kerala, black pepper, ginger, turmeric; for Rajasthan, coriander, fennel. So these are the crops. Regarding sustainability of organic farming system, you can see how much food we are losing in the world. So you can see food loss from post-harvest to distribution in 2016. This data is from FAO 2019. You can see about, say, 8% cereals and pulses are destroyed after the harvest, post-harvest losses. For fruits and vegetables, roughly 20 to 20% losses are there for fruits and vegetables. For meat and animal products, it is somewhere around 12%. For roots, tubers, and oilseed bearing crops, 25% losses are there, and others 10%. You can take at least 10% of the agricultural products at least are lost by post-harvest losses, and they can be minimized, they can be reduced. Instead of producing more and more, we should at the same time try to conserve it. A penny saved is a penny earned. अगर आपने 1 रुपया बचाया है, इसका मतलब है आपने 1 रुपया कमाया है. Now you see, these kind of scenes are quite common in our country. In any developing country, you can see food wastage on railway platforms. And Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister Modi has already said that India is ruining about agri products worth rupees 1 lakh crore ruined every year from India. So a lot of losses are occurring for organic products. So far marketing network is concerned, I could not complete this portion, and I will take up this marketing network in the next lecture. Tomorrow I will teach you marketing networks. So this, we covered your organic standards and certification. Now your quick questions are welcome, and we will meet tomorrow at 5 p.m.